All right, guys, welcome back to math. Classify angles. A shape that matched the corner of my paper. What do you think the angle of this red? I named it ABC. So we have angle sign. Remember, that's the angle sign. ABC. What type of angle do you think this is? That little box in the corner? Every time you see that, it is always 90 degrees, which would be the same thing as a right angle. Let's say I had another ray that came out. Let's name this one D. So now I'm looking for angle DBC. So what do you think that this angle is? If it goes out that corner, that top corner, it means that it's half of 90 degrees. What's half of 90? I hope you said, hey, that's 45 degrees, Mr. McGuire. And I would say, you're right, good job. When it comes right out that corner of the box, it's halfway. This is half, and this side is half of 90. So you'd have 45 plus 45. Half of that is 45 degrees. So we're going to say this area right here is 45 degrees. So we're going to say D, B, and C is 45 degrees. Now, if it's smaller than a 90 degree angle, it's a cute little angle. Acute. Get it? Acute angle. That means it's smaller than 90 degrees. How about if we had one that was just barely off of 90 degrees? So let's say that red line represents 90 degrees. Just barely. How many degrees do you think that is? 89 degrees. If it's 89 degrees, what is it? It's a acute little angle. Get it? Acute little angle. Little meaning smaller than 90. Okay, I have another angle. Let's say that red line right there represents 90 degrees. What do you think the purple one is? And we're going to name this K, J, and M. What is angle K, J, M equal? It's just a little over 90 degrees, isn't it? You see that? So this is a 91 degree angle. And by the way, that little round 0 that's over the top on the right top side of the number, that means degree. If we had to classify that angle, what kind of classification would it be? Anything that is bigger than 90 degrees, that is what we call obtuse. Obtuse is larger than 90 degrees. What if I had one that was like this? I'll just call this one ABC again. I'll put a red line in to show you where 90 is. Let's say that's 90. All right. What do you think this is? Well, half of 90 would probably be about here. That'd probably be, so this would be 90, and then we would add 45 for this. Okay, and then this is probably another, what, 10, 20 degrees more. So 90 plus 45 would be 135, right? So 135, and then we're going to add another 10. So let's make it 145 degrees. Angle ABC equals 145 degrees. Now, what classification of an angle is this? What would the classification be? I hope somebody said, hey, that's obtuse. That means it's larger. Think of it as like obese. Obese, obtuse. Think of it as fat. It's bigger than a 90 degree. I hope that that's a helpful way to think about it. So anyway, let's call this one A, B, and C. It's a straight line. So what would the degrees be? Well, when you're riding a skateboard, let's say you're riding a skateboard, and you were going this way, and this is the front, and this is the back, and then you do a kick, flip, and the back becomes the front, right? You call that a what? A 180. So that is actually the degrees of a straight line. It's 180 degrees. If it's 180 degrees on this side, what do you think it is on this side? Yeah, you weren't tricked, were you? It's 180 degrees over here too. So if you notice, if you went all the way around, what would that be? That would be 360 degrees. Skaters would call that a 360 when you go all the way around. As you can tell, angles, the ones that are a straight line, these are 180 degrees, and lines that are like an L shape, those are, I'll put it on this side, 90 degrees, okay? So this would be 90, and if you notice 90 and then 90 on this side, if we added these two together, 90 plus 90, we would get 180. You probably should know, this is called a, and I'm not quite sure why they call it this, but they do, it's called a straight angle. So a straight angle is like a straight line with the vertex in the middle. We would call this angle ABC equals 180 degrees, and it would be called a straight angle. Okay, see if you classify these four different types of angles, okay? What are the four different types of angles? Okay, now the first one, remember, when you draw the angle sign, ABC, the angle ABC is how many degrees? Okay, 90 degrees. Why? That little box, this box right here, this is the clue. That's the clue. That is 90 degrees. What if it was coming up right out of the corner of the box? It would be 45 degrees because we have half and half, right? Okay, so that's a 90 degree angle. And what do we call it? What do we call it? We call it a right angle. Okay? All right. How about this one? How about angle DEF? What do you think that one is? Well, if I drew a 90 degree thing here and had a box going through it, what do you think that would be? Well, it looks like it's slightly less than half, huh? So that would probably be somewhere around a 43 degree angle. Or you could say, hey, anywhere from a 40 to a 43 degree sounds great. Even a 45, even a 40 degree to a 45 degree angle, give me a range. That's great. As long as you can get it within 10 degrees one way or another, I think you would be I think that would be fantastic of you to be able to do that. And so if you can start kind of figuring it out that way, and you can get within a range, I think that would be great. What's the classification of this angle? The classification would be, is it a right angle? Nope. Why? It's smaller than that, isn't it? So what is it again? It's acute little angle, right? Yeah, it's an acute angle. All right. So this one's acute. How about GH and I? Angle GHI. What do you think that is? Well, let's say that here's our 90 degree angle, right? How much more do you think that is? Let's say you think, well, it's 90 here plus how much here? I'm thinking 45. Okay, so we're going to say it's a 135 degree angle. I think you're close enough. That would be great. If we classified the angle, what would we classify it as? Would it be a right angle? Acute angle? Ooh, hey, somebody said obtuse. Good job. Yeah, that's an obtuse angle. Good. Obtuse means what? What does that mean? It means larger than 90 degrees, huh? Good job. Now, how about angle JKL? Or we could call it LKJ, by the way. You could go either way. You could start on this side and go to that side, LKJ, or you could go JKL, okay? But if you notice on all of these, do you notice that the vertex is the middle letter? The vertex is always this middle letter. Okay, it's important to remember that the vertex is the middle letter. How many degrees do you think this is? Well, somebody said 180 degrees, good job. And what would we classify that as? Well, we classify it as a straight, right? Straight angle, good job. So that just means that it's like a line. It's a 180. Let me do one more thing with you before I let you go. Okay, if you notice, I went ahead and put a drawing on here. What do we have here? Well, we have a bunch of different angles, don't we? What are the different angles that we have? Well, we have A, O, and B. A, O, B. What do you think that would be in degrees? Well, if you said it's 45 degrees because it's going out where? Out the corner of the box. Good job. That's 45 degrees. Now, we would do that by going, we just write like a little half circle there, and we'd say 45 degrees. So AOB is 45 degrees, and what kind of angle is that? It's acute. That's how we classify it. Okay, good job. Okay, now, how about angle COA? COA. What do you think that one is? Well, if you said it's 90 degrees because of the box, good job. And what do we call that? We call that a right. That's our classifying it, right? We're classifying it as a right angle. Good job. All right, now what if we took and we said, okay, we're going to go with AOD. What do we think that one is? Well, we know that that from here to here, right, is 90 degrees, right? And then from here to here is how many degrees do you think? It looks like it's around 45 degrees, doesn't it? Okay, so let's just add those two together. 90 plus 45 would be what? So our angle name is what? Angle DOA. DOA. It would be 90 plus 45. It would be 135. And what kind of angle, what would we classify that as? That would be obtuse, right? Good job. And what if, let me change my color now. Let's go with orange. I hope we can see this. Let's go with AOE. So we have our angle AOE or EOA. I'm going to go with EOA just because I want to mix it up a little. What's the degrees do you think from here to here? I hope, yep, 180, good job. And what kind of angle is that? It's called a straight angle, right? Good job. All right, now do you see that there's different kinds? Now we could keep doing this for a while because we could also talk about COD. This is 45 degree angle. We could classify that one. And that would be acute. You're right, good job. Or we can go COB. We can go, you know, we can do a lot of different ways of going. But that gives you the general idea. Anyway, that's classifying angles. I hope you've enjoyed this. Go over it again and pause it at any time and take notes, okay? And I hope you enjoy this. I love math.